Good afternoon from Fawn Ridge, and I'm getting ready to start my peach cobbler. I have my casserole dish, and I'm using a glass one today because I'm only doing a demonstration and it's not going anyplace. But I got my peaches cooking in this pot. I have one large can of peaches and one small can of peaches. I'm gonna bring them to a boil. And while it's doing that, I got my crust. I used the Pillsbury crust that's already ready because it's quick and it's easy. I usually roll it in flour. And then I turn the flour side over so that it would help make my dough inside my pie. So, with a bowl this size, I need 2 crusts. So I'm using a total of 2 packages because the first 2 is for the bottom and the other 2 is going to be for the top. And I still don't have my camera quite right. I'm working on it. I was able to get it clamped, and I think my biggest problem is trying not to show my entire kitchen. I don't want to show everything. Okay. So. This is my crust for the pie. It's really easy. You get it at the Pillsbury pie crusts. They're on sale right now. $5. This is my crust. I'm going to fill it with my peaches once they're done. But while we're waiting on the peaches to be done, I'm going to roll out another crust. Oh, no, don't do that. My clamp just unclamped. Told you guys. Sorry about that. What about if we just leave it like that for now? Okay. Anyway, I'm probably just going to have to pick up and show you what I'm doing, okay? So, now, I got another crust. I'm going to roll it out and make me some strips. You know, this is not as easy as it looks. Stretching my crust. I think what I need to do is to find me another spot to work in. So, I'm going to cut off the 2 end crusts of the crust, the 2 end pieces. And I'm going to save those because I can use those later. Meanwhile, I'm going to cut these into strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is a really easy recipe. I like to do dishes that anybody can do. So, my peaches are almost coming to a boil. I have everything in it that I need. My peaches, my butter, and my nutmeg. I also added a teaspoon of vanilla flavor. So when that's all done, then we'll begin to put the pie together. How about that? And I'm not going to cook it very long. I just really wanted it to get warm. But meanwhile, I'm cooking my meat. So I'm going to make some cabbage for dinner today. All right. So, here's my pie crust, my filling. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to probably have to take my camera down and show you guys what I'm doing because I can't get it right. How about that? How's that? Okay, you just don't need to see me. All right, so here's my pie. I got my peaches in the pan. I'm going to add a little bit more sugar. I don't know how sweet you like yours, but I don't like mine very sweet. First time I made peach cobbler, the girls told me, your peach cobbler tastes diabetical. Whatever that means. I guess that meant that I didn't have enough sugar. So then, I'm going to add a little bit more flour. I just take some, put it in my hand, and I sprinkle it across the top. Just like so. Okay? Now that that's done, we're going to start our layers of our crusts. And I'm going to let these overlap because we're going to go all the way down to the end of the bowl. And then I will trim them. I've already added my butter, so we're good with that. Okay. Now, because I use scissors for everything, take my scissors and trim my crust. Okay? Now, I'm going to take my next crust, roll it out. If you put a little flour on it, it'll roll without tearing. I'll hold on to it a little bit, roll it out, as such. And then I take my hands and I try to stretch it a little bit. Because these next ones, the next layer that I'm going to do is that I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So, and we're going to lay them like this. If they're a little short, I'll take my extra crust and I'll make them longer. Again, this is a very easy cobbler recipe. Anybody can do it. And that's my goal, is to teach something that anybody can do. It doesn't cost, it don't cost that much to make this pie yourself. If you pay somebody. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some of my other pieces. I'm going to make it so that they're nice and long. It might not be that pretty, but they're going to cook. And when they cook, it's going to be pretty. How about that? Just kind of overlap them. As so. Now, that's pretty. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my brush, my pastry brush, my barbecue brush, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to brush the dough. I'm going to brush it in butter. That will make it nice, pretty, and brown. Now we'll just pour some of this extra butter in here. I always clean my edges so when it cooks, it looks nice and done. Now this piece right here, I like for it to be even, so I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut that. There we go. And I'm actually going to cut this one too. I don't want it overlapping. Change my mind. Yeah, that looks much neater. Okay, so we just made a peach cobbler. It wasn't hard at all. So what I did is I used 2 cans of peaches. I put them in a pot with sugar, nutmeg, butter, and some vanilla extract, and I brought it to a boil. When I got done, I'm going to take this off so you can see it, okay? All right. Okay, so look, there's my pie. It's all ready to go in the oven. We're gonna put it in the oven on 350. It's gonna be nice, pretty, and brown. And when it's done, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like, okay? Again, thank you for popping in on Fun Ridge. As we perfect, we'll get better. Bye-bye.